I'm back. Lester, I missed you so, but I'm back. And it's a big one. Folks, you know it. Do I have to say it? I will, but I don't need to because it's in the title. It's Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 30th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular. And Lester, there's nothing else that we have to do right now but roll the theme.
What the hell is this?
I speak jive.
Will you stop?
As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly.
They think they got the answers. I change the questions.
You don't like it? We don't care.
What a dumb thing to do. I bet you wouldn't have done anything like this if Mom and Dad were here.
A recognized symbol of excellence in
dramatic comedy. Friends, welcome. I am so excited, as you should be, about today's episode. I'm back from the vacation. I'm a little tanned. I hope you enjoyed the Earl Rowe Provincial Park Spectacular. And judging by the view numbers, you guys did. It's Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 30th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular. We said that in the intro, but I'll crowbar it in there again. Lester, how are you? Wait. Over there. That's right. Guys, the decorations, okay? Let's just get right into it. Good coffee is always free. It's a safari party this week as we celebrate the Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 30th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular. Let's get wild. And let's get on the safari party in the Jeep. Let's see who's there. It's Count Floyd and it's Napoleon Dynamite. The safari hat was purchased for me to wear, but it's far too small for my cranium, so we're gonna hang it up there. The crown, I'm the king, Lester told me so, and you guys sort of did as well. I told myself. Amcan Connection, single greatest tag team walking the earth today, still going strong. And if this is premiering on Friday, we just had a great show on the Rushmore show yesterday, Thursday. Go over to the Rushmore show and check it out. We're gonna get into that later. The pen is always taped. I'm running out of posters, friends. So this is the John Riddell. I used this for my talk show that I filmed years ago in the video store. Hold on. Nope, it felt like it. The Dick Butte, oh, here it is. Thank you, Colin. The Dick Butte Show was the name of the talk show. I still have all the footage. I just have to cobble it together. I think you guys are gonna enjoy it. Very similar to this, but a little different. I'll get into it later. That's about it. Folks, friends, all right, 30th anniversary. Let's get a good one. Ooh, that was it. The Dr. Zeus tumbler is here. It has to be for the 30th anniversary. Let's just do a nice civil, because we're civil here. There's no rage or no silliness, just proper. Should I raise the pinky, perhaps, upon pouring the Diet Coke into the Dr. Zeus commemorative tumbler? Thank you. Entire contents in. Open the holes, as they say, and... Friends, I got a gift in the mail. Not really, but the Academy Award for just all-around greatness. I think we should put that, where can we put that? We'll put that beside Dad over here. There we go. That looks pretty good. It's just a, when Charlie Chaplin didn't win an Academy Award, so they gave him one right before he died because they felt that they should. There's a word I'm trying to think of, but I can't think of it. Do I stop recording or do I continue to try to get to the word? Honorary. Ha-ha! Colin from Canada doesn't need a full 30 seconds to think of the word honorary. Lester, hello. Over there. That's how we do it. We've already poured into the commemorative tumbler, but you need to know that there's a large one of those and another large one of those, and we're halfway done the coffee. Guys, you know what lives in all of these? And when it enters me, this starts to happen. And the entertainment levels go that way. And the genius goes that way. And the humor, you get the goddamn picture. Okay, I think it's time to start the program. I missed you guys, but I was able to film at Earl Row, as we talked about. I'd like to thank my girlfriend for anytime she was relaxing in the hammock at camp, I was able to go out on the electric scooter and film those hard-hitting, not really, segments from Earl Row that I know you guys enjoyed, judging by the over 200 views now and still going strong. Colin from Canada is at 96 subscribers, but I've been on the Rushmore show yesterday. That hasn't happened yet because today's Wednesday, but you're gonna watch this Friday. So I'm assuming I'm over 100. That made sense if you go back and listen to it. I know what I'm talking about. Lester, it's time to get the program started. I am feeling happy.
From New York City, weighing 252 pounds, Adonis.
Friends, as we showed in episode 26, it's not only 5 VHS from the collection, but it's 5 Davids from the collection. Do I have to go back to that joke and do it again? Guys, we're going to. When I used to work at the video store, a gentleman of Indian persuasion came in and asked for the Passion of the Christ on the David or the cassette. So when we're talking about VHS, we can call them cassettes. And when we're talking about DVDs, we can call them the Davids, okay? That's how we do it here. Davids or cassettes. Or DVDs and VHS. Guys, it's time for 5 VHS and DVDs from the collection. Lester, it's been a while, but roll the bumper. Power Karate. Hunks with hats. Tai Chi for arthritis. Stretching to the classics. Friends, have I mentioned it's good to be back? And what better way to be back than on a 30th... Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 30th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular episode. Real quick before we get into the VHS and the DVDs, this is a private party this week, this 30th anniversary, so no celebrity congratulatory messages via a video. Okay? I know what that means. It's a private party. It's just you and me, guys. Just you and me. No celebrities, except for Count Floyd and Napoleon Dynamite. That's all. And John Riddell. I mean, come on. He's always welcome, and he's the biggest celebrity of them all. Also, there won't be any montages because while I was camping, I kind of gave you a lot of best ofs. So you don't need to see, although it is great, don't get me wrong, we're not going to go into the montages or the celebrity cameos because it's a private party and you're already sick of the montages because you saw 2 weeks of them while I was gone. Pure Luck, Martin Short, and Danny Glover. This is probably 88, 91, okay, maybe not. 1991, Pure Luck, good comedy with Martin Short and Danny Glover. Also, Sheila Kelly. She looks like, oh God, she was, nope, I gotta stop. Friends, we're back, and after 5 goddamn minutes of trying to look up this girl, this woman, Friends, we're on the first segment, and it's the 30th anniversary. It's a private invitation-only party. Only Count Floyd and Napoleon Dynamite are invited, and I'm not gonna get heated because my computer is a pile of dung. It took me 5 minutes to go to IMDb, type in Sheila Kelly, and try to figure out where I saw her from, and I haven't seen her from anything. Next VHS, Queen of Outer Space, Zsa Zsa Gabor. This is an oldie but a goodie. This is a 1958 feature. Okay, beautiful. Guys, remember Super Dave Osborne? Well, this is a fine collection of Super Dave Osborne sports highlights. He was a professional stuntman and a legend. Fun fact, his brother is Albert Brooks. Guys, it's friends. Look, it's Mac and Me. You guys remember this gem. This is probably from 89, and it is. I got the year correct. It's been cut, but still the VHS. You love it. I love it. And Paul Rudd loves it when he was on the Conan O'Brien show. Those who know. We're going to finish it off with Fear. Not the Mark Wahlberg early 90s feature with a beautiful girl as well, and I can't remember her name. Do we have to stop tape and look it up? You're goddamn right we have to! Guys, we're back. It was Reese Witherspoon. We're not talking about the Mark Wahlberg Reese Witherspoon 1996 suspenseful feature, although I do have that on VHS. We're talking about Fear, whatever the hell this thing is. Journey into the terrifying side of athletic competition. And would you look at that? It's two guys wearing life jackets in a raft. They're sure to be dead if they go in the water. Most sports are governed by a strict set of rules, but what happens when the rules break down and the events spin out of control? The results can be frightening. Fear is a videotaped journey into this terrifying side of athletic competition. It's a place where skiers barely survive avalanches. I read that correctly. It's a place where skiers barely survive avalanches, where the most experienced rafters are rendered powerless by the rapids of a raging river, where referees become targets of violence rather than enforcers of order, and where animals refuse to play by the rules of their human masters. It's a dangerous place to play. Fear is a brutally honest look at what can go wrong. It will have you on the edge of your seats. And with that introduction by Colin from Canada, you will be on the edge of your seats. Folks, it's not just 5 of that, it's 5 of this. Let's get to the Davids. Mega Piranha, the most fun I've had with a live-action movie all year. Scott Mendelson of the Huffington Post. Operation Delta Force 4, Deep Fault. Now, who's in this? Buddy Justin Williams, he's a bit of a B guy. That's about it. Boa versus Python. You like the big animal movies created by CGI? I know I do. Again, nobody. I haven't heard of anybody. Chick Magnet. Guess how much I bought this for? I'll give you a hint. It was $1. Some men get to the looks. These dudes got the shirt. Okay, that's Chick Magnet. And finally, how much did I pay for this one? $2.99. Guys, is it Viva Knievel starring Evil Knievel? Yes. And may I say, Gene Kelly as a rummy bike mechanic, Red Buttons as a sleazy promoter, and Leslie Nielsen as a murderous mobster. It's sealed, guys. Clearly worth way more than $2.99. Was that 5 VHS from the collection? Was that 5 DVDs from the collection? It was, and I plowed through it with ease.
To be led towards the ring by Captain Louis Albano.
Lester, I know exactly, as I get comfy. I know exactly. Have I said you know exactly? I know exactly. Have I said that yet? Ha ha! Can you feel the caffeine? One day, they'll make technology where the caffeine that I take in, you can take in as well as you view this absolute pile of nonsense. Lester, I know exactly what you're about to say, and it is perfectly okay because you've already told me 27 times since the Earl Road trip. You were planning, along with your wife, to tag along with the legend John Riddell, the girlfriend pictured, not pictured, will never be pictured or videotaped, and myself. You were gonna come, but I know, and the viewers know, it was the food barn. Okay, it's emotional. I get emotional. The friends get emotional. I know your wife Cheryl gets emotional. She cannot get time off. We have covered that. But she needs to know from my friends and myself that she is always welcome. Whether or not she can come is another story. We've covered that 3 times. The food barn is risky business, starring Tom Cruise, when it comes to getting time off. But she lives in our hearts, our minds, our thoughts, our humor. She lives on the show and at your house. That was me expressing my feelings and running out and not knowing where to go. Friends, it's time for Cheryl, Lester's wife. You know her. buddy. There it is.
You have no idea who knows me. I'm not the rancher. I got marbles here. I have 2 boobs, not 6. Do you know you have scratchy toilet paper? Now, that man there with Campus Life, he needs his grant. I actually went for this man, Alan Simpson, because I ran into him and I'm not feeling well. So I'm only gonna take a few more minutes of your time. Now, if I go down, he knows how to come get this EpiPen. And then you call Mr. Doug Peterson and he gets a hold of Mr. Ricketts in Omaha, okay? You guys understand this?
Friends, it has been a while, 3 weeks. 3 weeks? Has it been 3 weeks? Yes, no, hold on, let me do the math. We dropped that, boom, boom, yeah. It's been 3 weeks. I can do quick math in my head when it's the best of montages, the bloopers, and then the Earl Rowe. That's 3 weeks where we didn't have a studio production. The thing you're used to. That's how long it's been. I'm touching the tie. There's a lot of thrift store items that I've accumulated. Just because I go camping doesn't mean I'm not hitting the thrift stores. You better believe the girlfriend and I are hitting the thrift stores when we go camping. Swallow the saliva. It's time for thrift store pickups. John Dote Hit. Dote Hit? John Dote Hit. John Dote Hit. Dote Hit. John DeHurt. Okie dokie, friends. We're keeping it. Guys, we're breaking records today. After the 3-week absence from an in-studio production, I have accumulated not 1 chair, not 2 chairs, but a record-breaking 3 chairs full of thrift store junk. But not just any junk. Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 30th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular. Let's go to the board games first. Guys, it's a Murder, She Wrote mystery puzzle game, factory sealed, 1984. You put together, there's a mystery, and as you put together the puzzle, you solve the mystery. I didn't think I needed to explain that, but I did. Escape Zombie City. Okay, again, another one of those 12 million pieces. You know, we've covered it. An old school one that I didn't really care for, but my girlfriend wanted. It's Bed Bugs. Pretty good condition. All the pieces are here. Another tip for those when they're doing the board games, if they've put the pieces in a sandwich bag, if they've separated the pieces in separate sandwich bags, you know you're doing good. Again, God, the caffeine is coming up in a gaseous way, and I am belching. No instructions there, but I don't think I really need instructions. It does come with rules, but I don't have them. Anyways, it's once the bed stops moving, it's whoever has the most bugs. Guys, we spent a lot of time on bed bugs, and I got a lot of stuff to get through, so we gotta push forward. Die Hard, the Nakatomi Heist board game. I know this isn't a $9.99 board game at Walmart. This is probably a pretty penny. I'm not seeing a price on it, but I got it for $5.79. All the pieces were there. Although they tape it shut to make sure no one goes into it, you go to the cutlery section of the thrift store and you find a knife and you go tic-tac-toe and you open it up. You make sure all the pieces are there. Catchphrase uncensored, brand new in the box. This was part of a fill a bag of books and DVDs and Blu-rays at the local library in Alliston where I was camping. That was part of it. Animorphs. Now, I am no fan of Animorphs, the television program, but if you look up the Animorphs customizable card game on eBay, you will see that it's worth more than the $2 I paid for that. When I'm out and about around town, I like to have a sort of a bag that goes over the shoulder. Not a man purse. Not a man purse. Do you think that a gentleman with my fashion sense and that can create an environment like this would walk around with a man purse? Go ahead, I'll wait. Incorrect. I will not. This is a backpack. It's a backpack. So again, you can throw your, I don't have to, you know what the hell that is. It's not a backpack, it's a smaller satchel, sort of, maybe not a satchel, but over the shoulder medley. Some gifts for fellow viewers and perhaps tag team partners over at the Jason Nubb, how are you? He's doing the cassettes and he's got the stereo. He's looking for rock from the 80s. I checked with him. Born in the USA in fabulous condition, might I add. That hasn't been played once. This is brand new. He said yes, so I picked it up for him. Freedom Sufferer cards, my buddy from back in the day. He lives abroad, but this is gonna get to him. It's Richie Valens. It's La Bamba, the soundtrack on cassette. And if I may, $500 in art prizes. Art prizes. Chair number 1 done. Let's bring chair number 2 in. We're approaching 5 minutes. Perhaps I should speed up, or should I slow down and take it easy? Because it's the Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 30th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular. I'll go to a medium pace. When you need a dry erase board for perhaps your YouTube program where you can write something on it and put it in the background, and it's only $2 and it's brand new, and you're saving 50 cents from the original Dollarama price, you're gonna pick it up. I'm running out of room over there. Do you like to charge your phone and still have a Bluetooth speaker as well? And it's brand new in the box? Of course you do. This was a gift from one of my poker players. It's a Hulkamania shirt. It's a little haggard, but nothing wrong with that. I look atrocious in yellow, but we'll wear that on an upcoming episode. We're gonna save that for last. Let's go to the books, folks. Let's go to the books. Perry Mason solves the case of the postponed murder. You like that cover, don't you? That's a Perry Mason book with a gripping photo on the cover. Magic the Gathering, the official pocket guide, the pocket player's guide from 1994 when the cards came out. It's worth a couple of bucks, 10, 20 bucks, more than the $1.79 that I paid for it. I'm not a Magic the Gathering guy, but I know that if you hang on to that long enough, perhaps that will accumulate value in the near future. The Shaggy DA, some Disney movies here as I turn these around. The Heavenly Dog, yeah, okay, Chevy Chase and Benji. It's Strike 3, Charlie Brown. Here comes Charlie Brown. Take a Bow, BC. It's Your First Kiss, Charlie Brown. And when I was a youth, oh, if you got the color ones, yeah, buddy. That was a special little treat. Never owned that, even as a youth. More Marmaduke. In Your Eye, Andy Capped. Peace, Beetle Bailey. Richie Rich Digest. I'm not a Archie Digest guy, but if you get any other type of digest, Dennis the Menace, Richie Rich, any of the DC stuff or the Marvel stuff, I will have it, please and thank you. Lost and Never Found. I like these old books that have like missing persons cases, because then you can read about it and then look up to see if they've been found. Much like the Unsolved Mysteries thing I told you guys to do. Pig Boss and the wife, they know what I'm talking about. Yeah, they do. Nowhere to Call Home. This is a book about real homeless people in Ontario, where they take a photo of the person and we hear about what they've been through and the hard times that they're going through. Andy Warhol, The Philosophy of Andy Warhol, just quotes and little blurbs about, I don't know much about the guy, and I'm not all about art, but he's a little wacky, so what the hell. Songs and Artists, 2007. This is kind of like a checklist of bands and singers and their top hits. So you can kind of go, oh, well, let's see. I like, let's say, Barbara Mandrell. I don't, but you know that her top 3 hits were those, or Manfred Mann, Mighty Quinn, Quinn the Eskimo. Ben, if you're watching, you know what I'm talking about. When Quinn the Eskimo gets here, everybody's gonna run to him. Red Green, for those in America, I don't know if you know Red Green. His name is actually Steve Smith, a comedian from Canada, did a show with his wife, Smith & Smith Comedy Mill. That's a deep cut even for me. But he went on to do the Red Green show, where it's kind of a do-it-yourself handyman type guy. Yeah, Anyways, this is his biography, and it was, again, when it's fill a bag of books, you don't want to leave the bag empty, so some of those you sort of, you know what I'm saying. VHS time, Fast and Fancy Easy Hors d'oeuvres #1. Ab Sculptor, the world's greatest abs instructional video. Oh, guys, do you remember what's her name? Kathy Graham. We had her a couple of weeks ago. Now we're eating to slimness with Kathy Graham. Can't remember the name of the other one, but you guys remember Kathy Graham. She was in a couple episodes ago. Greatest Sports Bloopers Volume 2 with your host, Joey Gregorash. Well-known recording artist and sports enthusiast, Joey Gregorash. Now, in the edit, I'm going to put on the screen what type of recording artist he is, because I don't recognize him, but I bet he's part of some weird 80s band. Again, right now I don't know who he is, but in the edit, I'll already look up who he is, and I'll put it on the screen. Am I close? That's his photo. Hoo-hoo, that's a bold haircut choice. This is Greatest Sports Bloopers, Volume 2. Don't know if I mentioned the title. What the heck am I going to do with my hair? Okay? She clearly knows what to do with her hair. And what's her name? Is it going to be someone I can pronounce? Lori Davis. I can pronounce Lori Davis. Stress test. Don't crack up, crack open. The Word of God. Lindsay Roberts. And judging by that photo, I will trust everything she has to tell me about how to get rid of stress. The hunting crossbow. I really gave it all on that one. Who takes us on a ride in this one? Do we have a name? It's shot in Ontario and Ohio. We don't have a name, but this is the guy who's going to teach you about the hunting crossbow. Secrets of Discipline for Parents and Teachers, 12 Keys for Raising Responsible Children, Ronald G. Moorish. I don't know if the picture takes away from his height, but this guy is not trying out for any NBA team or G League NBA team. Thank you very much. More country line dancing. Diane Horner's More Country Line Dancing. And she's not plotting to kill anyone with that photo. I know the glare is, but you can see the eyes. This is really going long, but I hope you're enjoying because I am on a roll. The caffeine lives and breathes in me. Easy to learn Texas dance styles. No photos available, but if there's no photos available, you know that the production value is going to be great, especially when it's based out of Newark, New Jersey. Guys, again, I'm not big on the clothing when I'm at the thrift store because I don't really look at the clothing, but this caught my eye. Guys, do you remember the Bayside Tigers? Do I have to tell you what that's from? Hello, is that a beauty? Should we try it on and just make this segment go longer? Yes, we shall. Now, it's a pretty good fit, again, okay? I am wearing a shirt and tie and an undershirt, but it's the Bayside Tigers. Okay. Guys, it's Saved by the Bell, you know. Did I mention that already? I think I did. Chair number 2 out of the way. Here we go, chair number 3. I will continue to wear the Bayside Tigers as I run out of room to place all of this good junk. Guys, we're approaching longest segment ever, but we push forward. The Blu-rays, Welcome to the Punch, The Code, Modern Family, the 4th season, Ghostbusters, Answer the Call, Real Steel, Hugh Jackman, American Horror Story, the complete 2nd season, American Horror Story, the complete 1st season, The Matrix, The Tragically Hip in Bob Cajun. For those American viewers, Tragically Hip is probably Canada's band. The Fugitive, Harrison Ford. And look at this beauty, that was $10. Battlestar Galactica, the whole series, including the follow-up movie, $10. Blu-ray, complete series. Those are the Blu-rays done. let's get going on the DVDs. Long Shot and They Went That Away, Tim Conway, double feature. No Mercy, WWF. Saturday Night Live, The Best of Amy Poehler. Royal Rumble 2015. The Munsters Complete Series, $5. Computer game DQ Tycoon, $1. Robot Chicken Season 4, $1. Essential Clash. Lethal Weapon Season 1 with my man Damon Wayans. He does not age. Ralph Macchio, Damon Wayans, and the lead singer of Faith No More, Mike Patton, do not age. We will do a photo comparison, perhaps not right now, because I'm going far too long with this segment, approaching 15 minutes. Tiger Woods PGA Tour 10 on the Wii. I know I bought one of these before, but I think it was 08. Saturday Night Live, the best of 06-07. Necessary Roughness, starring Kathy Ireland. The Phantom. The In-Laws with Peter Falk and Alan Arkin. Unforgiven 2008. Weird when you collect TV shows and you have seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and you go to a thrift store in the middle of Alliston, Ontario, and they have the 6th season of CSI New York. Just weird. CDs and then we're done, guys. Led Zeppelin 4, the re-thing with the special cardboard thing. Primus, Tales from the Punch Bowl. Oasis Greatest Hits, 3 discs with a DVD thing. Not a huge Oasis guy, but, you know, they got a couple of good tunes. Same with Sloan. Nowhere near a fan of Sloan, but this is the greatest hits. And, you know. Queens of the Stone Age. The Essential Willie Nelson. An experimental fusion of hip-hop and jazz, Guru, who I believe is from Gang Starr, if I'm not mistaken. Jazzmatazz. This is another one of those Super Club Presents Lounge for Electronica house music CDs. Holy crow. Again, another one, The Underground 2010. This is a UK compilation, 3 discs of electronica and house music. The Best of the Guess Who, Volume 2. The Beach Boys, Surf's Up. I believe this is when Brian Wilson left the band, so it's kind of risky business up in there. Self-Motivation, Freedom from Sugar. That's going to be a good listen. Neil Young and Crazy Horse, Greendale, Hip House. This is from 1991, a collection of house tracks. Snoop Dogg, Rhythm and Gangsta. Know What I Mean? Cannonball Adderley with Bill Evans. Billy Joe Armstrong had a solo record. I didn't know about it. That was part of the Fill the Bag. Tickla versus Axelrod. No idea. Listened to it on YouTube when I was in the thrift store and said, sign me up. Otis Redding, Pain in My Heart. Mellow Gold. Let's just take a moment and look at the cover on that. Mellow Gold. It's a compilation of wimpy music, but, you know, I like that song, you like that song. And finally, Rushmore. I don't know if I like the movie. It's okay. People think it's better than it is, I feel. You know what I'm saying? What's his name? The guy that does... You know what I'm... Who is it again? Wes Anderson. He's a little overrated, okay? My opinion. It's good, but it's not as good as you think it is. Rushmore. Great songs. Guys, that's 17 minutes of thrift store pickups from 3 weeks of picking up thrift store stuff. Bayside Tigers.
From Manchester, England, at 225 pounds, the Dynamite Kid.
Friends, we... Lester and myself, when I say we, that's who I mean, love to dig deep to find the prominent news stories not bubbling up to the surface, whatever the hell that means. We dig and we find those news reports, those news segments, those news stories that perhaps you're not familiar with. And when you are a news reporter live on the scene, you have to grab that story and take it in your hands and mold it to perfection. And if I might, first star I see tonight, back here, this lady does that correctly.
Done something that is very good.
He was murdered, but now he's dead.
reach out to the man who died.
Do the math. Your mama, she's for free and everybody knows it.
One of the neat things too about this is that it's a hands-on experience. Do you mind if maybe I try my hand at this?
Not at all.
Okay. I'm not very creative, so you're going to have to bear with me on this.
Get your hands wet first.
Okay. Okay, here we go.
Whatever you got.
Okay, we're finished with this display. I apologize profusely for...
Friends, there's a gentleman over my shoulder who had quite a good time joining myself and my girlfriend on a camping trip to the Earl Rowe Provincial Park that you saw last week. Nose hairs have not been tended to. Pushing forward. John Riddell is who we're talking about. You know him. He's a living legend. He had a blast camping at Earl Rowe. And this is the John Riddell clip of the week. I have no clue what this is, but once I stop talking...
How much is in butter? How much is in butter? How much is in butter?
Friends, Colin from Canada here in the Mercedes-Benz, waiting for a train to pass. The legend's in the back seat. That's John Riddell. He has offered to buy me a new pair of jeans from Walmart because he doesn't appreciate the holy jeans that I'm running around in. I've let him know that I have several other pairs that are perfectly fine, but he is adamant that he is going to buy me a new pair of Wranglers from Walmart. Is that correct, Dad?
Yes.
Colin from Canada.
Show him the train.
Oh, show him. Dad wants me to show you the train. What kind of jeans are we getting at Walmart, Dad?
Wrangler.
Wrangler. That's right. John Riddell only wears Wrangler, folks. Friends, Colin from Canada is still in the Mercedes-Benz. We've just exited the Walmart and we took a look at the Wranglers, but Johnny isn't exactly sure of the measurements of his crotch, so we're going to have to measure that and go back to a different Walmart because the jeans that I'm forced to own, they didn't have my size in the color I wanted. So measure John's crotch, go to the other Walmart, bingo bango. Right, Johnny?
Yes.
Friends, if I could pause the festivities just for a moment. The festivities, of course, being Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 30th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular, and talk to you, the viewer. Specifically the viewer who does not have a YouTube channel. Are you thinking about doing a YouTube channel? Are you not thinking about doing a YouTube channel? Either way, how about you do a YouTube channel? I really didn't have any interest in doing a YouTube channel until I did a thank you video that I couldn't send my tag team partner, part of the AmCan Connection, over at the... And I had to start my own channel to post that video thanking him for having myself invite myself over to his place for Christmas and bring gifts to his entire family. Pushing forward. Point being, if you get enough caffeine in you... Let me take a drink while we're mentioning caffeine. Comedic value, raise the straw and try to reach it. You saw what I was doing there. Getting to my point, again getting to my point. Get a little caffeine in you, press record, and just blither on. Now, you're probably saying, how can my show look as great as yours, Colin? Well, let's go back to episode 1 of my show, or episode 1 of Seinfeld. Yes, I'm comparing myself to the show Seinfeld. That one pretty much stunk up the room. No offense, episode 1 of Seinfeld, but, you know, as you go, you improve. This is episode 30, and not just episode 30, it's Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 30th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular. You know what I'm saying? You improve as you go, and if this is episode 30, imagine what episode 300 is going to be. Because there will be a 300. Perhaps some color to this. I might not even be here. We might be closed down, and I might be doing it at I might be doing the show at another undisclosed location somewhere in the city of Mississauga. Guys, I'm veering way off topic. I'm just basically saying, put yourself in front of your phone and talk about stuff you love. Talk about stuff you're interested in. Is this the introduction to Let's Go Through My Camera Roll? You're goddamn right it is. Dry cleaning movies, mushrooms on toast. Just a couple of horses' asses. Electric pressure cooker, urinating. Passion fruit chest cake, Charles Barkley. Friends, it's 5 photos from the camera roll, and as you know, the girlfriend and the living legend have just returned from the Earl Rowe Provincial Park camping trip, so we have plenty of photos to last a mere 2 weeks, hopefully. I have, as I licked my fingers to turn my notebook, I should have been on the page that I should have been on the page I needed to be on prior to hitting record, but professionalism, ha! What's that word? Itchy foot. Scratching my foot with my other foot. Okay, photo number, I don't know where we're gonna put it as we have a plethora of things in the background. We're gonna go above John Riddell, living legend. I think that's a sweet spot for it. Photo number 1 is the hot dog spiral cutter. I ran into this item at my local Dollarama. For those of you in the US, Dollarama is Canada's big dollar store. Whereas you have Dollar Tree and Dollar General, we have Dollarama, and a few Dollar Trees are making their way up into Canada. Anywho, pushing forward. This is the hot dog spiral cutter, and I thought to myself, why are we spiral cutting the hot dog? I don't believe it's geared towards children. Perhaps it is, to make them eat their hot dog. I don't know. But guys, do you want to spiral cut your hot dogs and then put it in a bun and add mustard and ketchup? Because that's all you need on your hot dog. We're not going to get into it. Okay? Spiral hot dog cutter. Photo number 2. This is the main street in Alliston, Ontario, where all the shops are. You know, your local small town has the main drag where all your shops are. And there's graffiti on that brick wall. If you look carefully, there's a little inscription there that says, "Colin is hot." Now, I'm not going to argue with that. When you have this type of double chin and you can't grow a beard if your life depended on it, you're a hot guy. And every year, my girlfriend and I take a photo in front of that very graffiti. Usually it's more of my face right beside it, but we're pulling back, and she didn't tell me to put the pizza slice near my crotch. I did that on my own. And again, are we looking at the fashion? Was I wearing undershirts and swimming trunks and knee-high socks the entire time I was there? I don't think I need to answer that question. Photo number 3 is the supermarket in Alliston, Ontario, right next door to Earl Rowe, where we bought our groceries that we needed for meals that we were cooking at the campsite. And if we look carefully, that is an everyday low price of $4 for a stick of bread. $4, everyday low price. Okay? At some grocery stores in Mississauga, that's $1. Pushing forward. Photo number 4. I can keep up. When you're cruising around Walmart and Johnny's pushing the cart with a hat that has a Canada Goose feather in it, you need to snap that shot immediately. Okay? To finish off the let's go through my camera roll, we're just going to slowly go through some beautiful photos that my girlfriend took at Earl Rowe. Most of them having sunsets in them, because you can't go wrong with a sunset. And my girlfriend takes a hell of a picture, whereas I don't really take a hell of a picture, especially when the other side of my camera that most people use is still shaky. So I have to use the, is that taking the photo? You know what I'm saying? So we're just gonna go through these. Whoa, that looks good. Again, beautiful. I like the sun there. You guys realize that I can't see these photos while I'm doing this. Whoa! Beautiful. Honey, you nailed that one. Are they still going? Perhaps they're done. I don't know. Guys, this has been Let's Go Through My Camera Roll.
And from Waxahachie, Texas, at 275 pounds,
Friends, I'm gonna angle this way. It's a swivel, so it's not that hard to angle. You know who I'm looking at. You know him, you love him. For those of you tuning in for the first time, I am speaking of my producer over here, Lester. Lester, let's bring it up. That's what I'm talking about. Guys, Lester's over here. He's the producer. For those lifelong viewers, you know what I'm talking about, but we always have new viewers, so I have to tell them. Lester's the off-camera producer, and what better time to thank him than the Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 30th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular. Lester, I thank you for all the work you do on the program, all the production, all the bells and whistles, all the hair and makeup, although we've talked about the nose hairs. That's not Lester's job. He does a lot, but he doesn't do the nose hairs. That's more of a private thing that perhaps I shouldn't be sharing with the world. But I like to bring you into my world and let you know that my nose hairs have been bugging me since Earl Rowe. Have I trimmed them? Lester, back to you. Again, thank you. And we have to inform the viewers. This is the portion of the program where we inform the new viewers who everybody is. We're already into the program. Perhaps I should have done this earlier, but we're going to do it now. Lester's the off-camera producer. We saw Cheryl earlier. That's Lester's wife. Coming up now is Ray. Ray is Lester's brother-in-law, which would make him Cheryl's brother. Ray has had some difficulty with Bob Bolus at the city council. He doesn't appreciate how the city council treated Bob Bolus, and he is not afraid to speak his mind and continue to let the city council know how much that bugged him. It's time for Ray. Lester, again, thank you.
Raymond Lyman, ridiculous. You calling me a liar? Well, I ain't gonna think about suing the city. Raymond Lyman, ridiculous. You calling me a liar? Well, I ain't gonna think about suing the city. I mean, he asked you a question, you should have answered that question. Not sit there and be quiet. I mean, I'm not insulting you, Chris. You know what I mean? I'm just giving my opinion. I mean, we elected you. I mean, you're not a king.
Friends, as the summer sun shines upon us, we are in desperate need of a body of water. Upon finding that body of water, we will gauge its depth, climb atop the diving board, and look below. Gather our courage and dive headfirst into the deep cut deep dive. Can you fathom what segment is coming up next? For those of you who said the deep cut deep dive, give yourselves a pat on the back. Lester didn't know what clips to take from the deep cut deep dive, so instead Colin from Canada is singing over this bumper. I assure you, this is real. Friends, it's time for the deep cut deep dive, and for this week's deep cut deep dive, we are going back to 1993 with this motion picture. And I've selected this motion picture for two reasons. One, it's a great movie. Three reasons. Two, you've probably not seen it. And three, for some weird reason, it's available on YouTube. So let's go with it. It's A Perfect World, directed and starring Clint Eastwood, Kevin Costner, and Laura Dern. Based in the 60s, it's a escaped convict, Kevin Costner, takes a young boy hostage. I use that term loosely, but he is traveling as an escaped felon with this young boy, and they develop a friendship. Clint Eastwood portrays the Texas Ranger hot on his trail trying to catch the escaped felon, Kevin Costner. Laura Dern plays the young rookie criminologist who wants to understand what's going on in his mind. And Clint Eastwood could care less for the criminologist who is tagging along with Clint Eastwood. So it's a great movie, 2 hours and 20 minutes. I saw it back in the day, probably 1994, and fell in love with it. Just a real great movie about a friendship that can develop, and, you know, even though he's a convict, he can teach things. I don't know, it's weird. It's like, as you watch it, I don't want to give, again, famous last words, I don't want to give too much away, but You often wonder if you should be rooting for the convict or not. Is the convict a bad person? Is the convict a good person? You know, I guess that's what the movie's for or about. Anyways, probably the quickest deep dive I've ever done, but it's 1993. It's A Perfect World, directed by Clint Eastwood. He went on to direct even more films and greater films, but I don't know about greater. You know, they say $1 Million Baby and they say Mystic River. Great films, but I think A Perfect World is far better than both of those films. Tell me what you think. Link is in the description. It's A Perfect World, and it's well worth watching. I think you guys will enjoy. That's about it.
Billy Jack Hayes!
Friends, it's the introduction to the clip of the week, and we have been having so much fun with the game show clips that it continues this week. Lester, that's right. Should I? While we're here, let me hear it. Yes, sirree, Bob. It's the clip of the week. It takes us to Family Feud, and it's fast money. And fast money brings the pressure. The clock's ticking down. And we need a name that starts with the letter K.
When things aren't going my way,
I'm thinking pasta.
2,500.
Here's the VHS collection.
Your Construction Safety Association.
Tell me the man's name that starts with the letter K. Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Friends, there is a writer of wrestling books named Brian Solomon, who, if memory serves correctly, I heard a rumor, perhaps it's a fact, I think it's a fact, and I heard it correctly, that he is doing a book on one Robert Morella, aka Gorilla Monsoon. He just came off a fabulous book about the original Sheik, Ed Farhat, for those playing along at home who ran the Detroit big-time wrestling territory. Anyhoot, there is word, and I think I'm correct, that he's doing a book on Gorilla Monsoon. Hopefully that comes to fruition, because I don't know very much about the man, and I'd love to learn. Guys, it's time for the Gorilla Monsoon quote of the week.
Did you see that?
Couldn't see it from our vantage point.
Will you stop? All kinds of pandemonium broken loose here.
The garden has gone strictly bananas.
Barry Windham!
Friends, I feel another belch coming on. Perhaps I've drank too much Diet Coke. Silly Billy. You can never have too much Diet Coke. You know what's coming up now, guys? You're popping the popcorn. You're getting the cold beer, or in my case, the cold Diet Coke. While we're talking about Diet Coke, let me have a sip of that. The show and tell portion of the program is on its way. We have a winner from the Fatal 4-Way match that took place over the 3 weeks that I was away from you guys. We got a winner, and you might be surprised who it is. We have the challenger right here. We're gonna roll the bumper, and we're gonna get things started. Delta Force Pizza. Delta Force Pizza. Friends, you know how we do it. Do I have to say it? I won't, because you're shouting it. And if all of you shout it, everyone will hear it. As you know, while I was away camping, we had a Fatal 4-Way match between Rowdy Roddy Piper, Mr. T, taking on the Incredible Hulk Piggy Bank, taking on the Great Muppet Caper McDonald's Glasses, taking on the Stage West Dinner Playbill signed by Don Knotts. And surprisingly, the champion remains a champion. Rowdy Roddy Piper and Mr. T retain the straps, taking down the Incredible Hulk Piggy Bank, the Great Muppet Caper, McDonald's Glasses, and the Stage West Playbill signed by Don Knotts. 33% of the vote, okay? And we got a total of 12 votes. I was hoping for 20. Guys, one day, okay? One day we're gonna get 20 votes. But before we get to 20 votes, we have to have a challenger. You know how we do it here. Rowdy Roddy Piper and Mr. T in a handicap match, taking on your favorite robot. Droid? You guys are really yelling at me now. R2-D2. Let's turn it the right way. I am a Star Wars fan. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but I know that these type of Bandai, Japanese, perhaps American, but there is some Japanese on here, and it does say Disney and Lucasfilm, but you guys know more about it than I do, but I'm sure it's worth more than the $6 I paid for it. It's the R2-D2 Rocket Booster version 1/12 plastic model scale. And judging by the contents, someone perhaps started it, but did not finish it. And the stickers remain for the parts that they have not put stickers on. And as I continue to talk, I wonder if I should start again because I didn't know if R2-D2 was a droid or a robot. Because C-3PO is a droid. You're yelling. I know. Oh! Looking at the instruction guide on how to put together this thing, he is a resourceful astromech droid. R2-D2 is a droid. Now, folks, gun to my head, I probably would have said droid. I don't think I would have said robot. So forgive me, those that cherish the Star Wars franchise. But this is what we're dealing with. And also it says droid collection right there. I probably should have saw that. This is who Mr. T and Rowdy Roddy Piper are taking on in this week's Show and Tell weekly poll. I really should get a stand here for when I do this segment, so then it can kind of sit here and I can talk over it. Again, we're improving the show as we go along. Remember I mentioned, you guys who haven't started your YouTube channel, I just improved the channel with that idea. Okay? You guys know what to do. You vote now. It's going to be a nice little battle. This guy's a smarty pants, so he might be able to take down two minds. Especially when those minds are Roddy Piper and Mr. T. Ah! I cannot insult my idols. They have full brains, okay? They're smart, okay?
Bad News Brown!
Friends, as the filming of greatness occurs on a weekly basis, during the filming, I am ill-equipped to let you know how many minutes perhaps I have of bloopers because I don't necessarily know as of yet. But I have had a lot of start and stops for the Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 30th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular. So there should be a abundance of bloopers coming up after this bumper that Lester's gonna roll. Lester, while I have you here, can we do it one more time, perhaps? That's what I want to hear. It's time for you to do your work, Lester. What am I doing? Gotta stop saying, What can I tell you? Try again, son. What am I deep in thought up in here? That's here nor there. You are actually laughing. Itch it. Get it. Got it? Good. If I could take a moment and pause the festivities just for a moment. Did I just say moment twice in 6 seconds? Friends, well, guys, just came to me as we filmed the introduction previously born to that child, but I not need to know that his name was Nelson Mandela. Mister, you know. Every time I program? No. Game show, please, and thank you, Crankle. This is... Hi, welcome. Welcome? Welcome. You're welcome. I'm welcome. The ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-baran. I gotta pee again. Don't need really, you don't really? Really don't, you really don't, you don't really. We're swaying and adding to the bloopers a writer who writes wrestling books. No. Junk 30th anniversary spectacular extravaganza. One is John, you gotta help me, buddy. Dad, come on. I'm failing, and it's the 30th.
How much is in butter?
What is the word I'm looking for? It's the... And there's a belch coming. Here it comes. Excuse me. Perhaps I shouldn't have vocalized that. And this is where all the main shops are on the main, you know what I'm saying? Stop and go segments where I perhaps am rambling. Tickling the earlobe on a break from filming. This is real. I've drank several of these. We're gonna pee. Where are we at? Where I'm in? Check it out, because my head is like a sieve, and yo, we turn it out. Because we love the game shows, at least I do, and if I love something, I have to force it upon you, so you love it as well. Ba-boom. I need to tell you that I'm at ease. The struggle is, this is going nowhere. This is their influenced first appearance of this kisser, and hi there. It's Colin from Canada. It's during the night, and I'm filming. You know what tastes really good? If you take a croissant and you put butter on it, and then you put it in the toaster oven, but be very careful, it burns easily. Do it correctly, and that croissant comes out, and that butter just sinks into the croissant, and it is delicious. Blubber. Woo tee, we need a brown copper, but we don't need you. I'd like to thank the Academy and
Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff.
Friends, do you like mastering a new language? Perhaps learning words or phrases in another language that you wouldn't necessarily come across without the likes of my mother. Did you answer yes to any of those questions? Because if you did, this next segment is directed directly at you. It's Lynn Riddell, Queen Mother of Canada. What the hell did we call this thing? The Queen Mother of Canada presents Conversational Scottish.
It's a bra day. Onybody up for a duke? It's a bra day. Onybody up for a duke?
Friends, I can't tell you how much this segment truly has made a 180 turn, but week to week I will desperately try to as I express the joy now that befalls me in my heart regarding the sponsor. We know the trials and tribulations as it started, where on a weekly basis I was losing sponsors left, right, and center. And now, as we've moved into the learning process, the give back to you, the viewer, of public service announcements, the sponsorship is solid, strong. And the joy is almost wordless. Did I just coin that phrase? Perhaps I did. There are no words that can describe the joy that it brings me to know that you're learning. And you continue to learn week after week. And perhaps I shouldn't just focus in on the learning that you receive in the sponsor segment, because let's be real and let's be honest, as we've always been here at Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 30th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular, we are learning. And perhaps I shouldn't just have joy at the fact you're learning through a sponsor, but I should have joy throughout the entire show, where you are learning from each segment. Each segment should bring me joy and you knowledge. The Deep Cut Deep Dive. Are you learning about something you perhaps didn't know about prior to the segment? Maybe you are. And if you are, you're learning. And that is joy for me. The news. Let's be honest. There's news stories that a good chunk of you have never heard. And if you've never heard of it, and you're just seeing it here, you're learning. You're learning about those news stories. And again, the joy enters my heart. Ray, Cheryl, my father, they teach you. They teach you every week. You learn from them. So there's 3 more segments that put joy right here. I have to learn to accept the fact that this entire show, Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 30th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular, all of it is a learning process for you, the viewer, for you, the friend, for you, the legend, because I'm the hero. Let's talk about all the segments. The introduction. It's fast-paced. It's quick. It's hilarious. You're learning, okay? The VHS DVD from the collection. Those are 10 titles. You're telling me you know all those 10 titles? Perhaps you do, perhaps you don't. There are some in there that you don't know about. And when you don't know about something and you're introduced to it, you've learned about it. Joy. The thrift store pickups. The oddities, the weird things that I pick up to add to the collection. Maybe you haven't seen them before, maybe you have, but if you haven't, knowledge. You've learned. Joy enters, nestles in the heart. The camera roll. Photos you've never seen before because you don't have access to my phone. Now you do. Knowledge. Let's talk about the clip of the week. You might watch game shows. Do you watch them as frequent as I do? Probably not. That would be scary. You're learning about silly billies on the game shows. You're learning. I'm getting joy. Okay? Gorilla Monsoon. I guarantee you've never heard those quotes before, unless you're a die-hard wrestling fan. Some of my viewers are, some of them aren't. Knowledge from a man named Gorilla Monsoon. Twisted around, warmth. What's another word for warmth on my heart? Joy. The show and tell. It's things from my collection, things I own. Do you have them too? Maybe you do. But if you don't, you've discovered them. Discovery is knowledge, is learning. Now it's burning hot. The joy is burning my heart. Not heartburn. Joy burn. The bloopers. Come on. You're not learning anything there except how many times it takes me to record something. But you're receiving joy through that. So it's combined joy for you and me, okay? And let's finish it up with Lynn Riddell, Queen Mama Canada, okay? she drops the knowledge when it comes to conversational Scottish. Scottish knowledge? In your brain, knowledge. In my heart, joy. This has gone on far too long. It's time for the sponsor. It's time to learn, and it's time for me to receive joy.
You ever had India food?
Will you please stop?
Catch it.
The Empire of Taste. Will you please stop?
Catch it.
They're living right in your basement, your garage, or your workshop. Their bites can be vicious. Their claws powerful. Their teeth sharp. And they can hurt you. Bad. Unless you treat them properly. Handle them with care, with caution. After all, they're your tools. And they can be your best friends or your worst enemies. Learn how to tame them, how to use them safely, how to maintain them properly. That way you'll be using them wisely. For a free safety information pamphlet, write Tools, Washington, D.C. 20207. That's Tools, Washington, D.C. 20207.
There, now it's purring like a kitten.
Product safety. It's no accident.
Friends, I can loosen the tie even more. Show more of that paleness. I think I am still a little tanned from the camping adventure, but if I'm loosening the tie on the Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 30th Anniversary Spectacular, I think you know what part of the program we are at now. It's the goodbyes. But we don't need to tear up. We don't need to get emotional. Get emotional if you want. It's okay to let out your feelings, but it's not necessary because, as you know, Lester and myself will be back next week with just another show, episode 31. But although I speak of the anniversary shows, as you know, on the 10s, as a special episode, all of the episodes are special because the phone is pointed at me. The red light is on. And when that is on me, everything is special. Lester, was that too cocky? Of course not. Of course not. Because they know. The friends know. Okay, let's get to some particulars that I need to get to. Men's toes. I am in the process of going through my men's toes, and hopefully by next week I will have at least one item to show you. Okay, that's the goal, okay? Because I did enjoy men's toes, and I did enjoy including it in the show and tell weekly poll. It kind of spices it up a little bit for the triple threat affair. So next week, I promise we're going to get men's toes back on the docket. Driving with Colin is a phenomenal idea. However, the back of my phone camera, as you know, does not work. So we would have to use the front of the camera, and the phone holder in my car is the magnet, and the magnet is on the back of the phone, and I can't turn. You get what I'm saying. So driving with Colin is on hold until I can get a different phone holder so we can film using the front of the camera. But I promise you, and I know you can trust me when I throw a promise upon you. I used to call it a Colin guarantee. Well, let's bring it back from the archives. I will put a Colin guarantee on the fact that when we get Driving with Colin on this very program, it will be one of, if not your favorite segment. When I say your, I am of course talking to you guys, the friends, okay? It will be great because I get a little heated in the car, so I won't be able to listen to music while I'm filming Driving with Colin because of copyright problems. So I'm gonna have to kill the fact that I love listening to music, and that might improve the anger that I have towards the drivers that I will encounter when we get this segment lifted off the ground. Yesterday, I was on the Rushmore show. Yesterday hasn't happened yet because it's Friday going into Thursday, so we haven't technically filmed it, but as you're watching this, we've already filmed it. You get what I'm saying, and hopefully that was a great presentation by myself and Jason Nutt, my tag team partner, part of the AmCan Connection over at... I hope we put on a good performance on the Rushmore show, bringing you the top 4 retro TV dads from our childhood. Go over and take a gander. I think you're going to like it because my performance, as well as the guys from the Rushmore show and Jason, probably put on a great show. So go over and take a look at that. Mike D, the big shout out, aka Dynamite Tiger. I should have mentioned this in the 5 VHS/DVDs from my collection, but I posed a question to the viewers, and there was a very tepid, I haven't said that word yet, tepid response to my question. And that question, of course, was, where did John Riddell first rent movies from in the year of 1985? Guys, Mike D delved deep, and he came up with the answer. What is the answer? Let's throw it up. Canadian Tire. Now, for those in America, I don't even think you have Canadian Tire. I'm pretty sure you don't. For those in Canada, this is how crazy it really was, guys. I can't fully describe, but I will try. People in Canada don't even remember that Canadian Tire used to rent videos, okay? That is a deep, 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 get Jacques Cousteau to get you in the submarine down deep below the ocean floor deep cut, okay? God knows how Mike D, aka Dynamite Tiger, figured it out, but hats off, tip of the cap, salute to you, Mike D, Dynamite Tiger. And I gotta say this in front of all the friends, in front of all the 97 subscribers and anyone else tuning into this very program. What program is that? Of course, it's Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 30th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular. Mike D, you need a prize. Guys, do you agree? It is phenomenal that he came up with this answer by me only saying they're not known for renting movies and they're not in America. Okay, that's pretty... I know there must be a lot of stores known to Canada but not known to America. So kudos to you, Mike. A prize is coming your way that I will figure out and talk with you privately on the gram, as the kids are saying nowadays, or as they have forever. So, Mike, we're going to be chatting, and I'm going to be sending you a prize that very well could have appeared on this very program. Okay? You're going to enjoy it, and perhaps there's a TV show that you need that you don't have that I could send you as well as a prize. See, I give back to the viewers, and David, I haven't forgot about you, okay? David, you're getting the motherload of TV shows once I cobble that all together. I haven't forgotten, I was camping. I'm on it, buddy. I think I covered everything. Clearly have no idea how long this episode is, but we're gonna throw up the time there. I'm gonna go, and this is a ballpark guess. I'm gonna go 54 minutes, 55 seconds. I'm gonna write that down. That is my estimation. We're gonna throw up the real time right there. How close was I? Guys, I'm gonna shut it. Thank you again. Those of you, I say it every week, but if you are watching to this point, that you have been with me the whole program, and you know greatness, and you recognize, and most importantly, you get it, okay? If you get it, you're watching the right program, and I think you're enjoying. So continue to watch. It's never gonna end, never, because I have far too many VHS and DVDs and good junk in the collection. Lester, it's been a while, but I almost forgot. The Pepperettes are a firm $12. There's no haggling. The Pepperettes seinen steifig $12 ein Aufdinger.
A recognized symbol of excellence in
dramatic comedy.